Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Roger will be joining us shortly, but we'll get on the way with as there's a lot of sports to cover as usual on this day. It's when you look outside, you don't even know what to think because the weather is supposed to be nice at this time of the year, but we've been getting some strange weather here in Toronto, so in the GTA area, and but you know what, we will live with it, and things will get better, I'm sure, and we'll have a wonderful summer, and we all will have fun. I just wanted to look at a few things that we can look at the PGA Masters, which is ongoing, and it's a bit of a surprise at the top of the leaderboard there because we've got Justin Rose and then Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy third, Corey Connors, the Canadian, McCarthy, um, Laurie, Shane Laurie, who is a good friend of Laurie of McElroy, and you'd expect to see names like Scheffler right up there, but Scheffler is not right at the top. But he's still hanging around. He is there in tied at fifth position, and and you see Scheffler that close. I don't think you can count him out because he's five under. He's only three back of the leader. So it's tight, very, very tight at the top, really. And I'm looking for, I guess, a fantastic day, what they call moving day today in golf at the Masters. And just to go back a bit on day one when Rory McIlroy was looking very good. It looked like he was going to run away with it the first day. He had a couple of bogeys on the 15th and 16th, I think it was, and he went back to even. But yesterday he had a fantastic day where he shot six under. So he's now six under in third place. So good for him. And Bryson DeChambeau, who's from the Live Golf, is right up there with them. And there's some discussion. I don't know if I saw some people saying Bryson DeChambeau needs to hire his own streaming people because they're keeping him out and they're not showing him. And that's always a discussion whenever the live players are playing in the golf. So I think if you're playing in a tournament, no matter which, whether you're from PGA or the live, you should be showcased once you're doing well. And I think Bryson DeChambeau, he's playing well, and it's no reason for them not to have him highlighted. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on today because as in second spot, you'd expect that he will be among the featured players, but we'll keep an eye and see what happens there. So the golf, the key players will come in this afternoon or in the morning sessions. You have the guys who are down closer to the plus twos, closer to the cut line, but I think around, I guess, from Rory McIlroy and he goes at 220, 230. So we'll have those guys coming up a little later on. But early tee offs for some of the guys who are not up there at the top. And we'll keep an eye on those things for you and keep you updated on what's happening in the Masters because somebody's going to get that green jacket tomorrow. So we look forward to seeing how that goes. Moving on from the golf, talk a little bit of the Formula One, and there's Formula One ongoing in Bahrain, and McLaren right at the top in the practice. No surprises there. Piastri and Norris, Leclerc from Ferrari and Hamilton. Ferrari too, but he's down in 10th spot at the moment in the practice. But I don't take practices too seriously. I think you want to look at more what's going to happen in the qualifying more than the practices. And we welcome Roger to. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sorry to be a little late, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Practice is important though, because they made some changes to the Ferrari, and Hamilton wanted to feel comfortable with the changes. He was pumped about it, so I'm actually a little surprised that he's all the way down there because I thought with the changes that they had made, that they'd now be looking at a top three, top four in the practice to say, yes, we're ready. The changes are working.
Yeah, that's what I thought because he said, yeah, for I think the 1 week he said if you left the car alone, he would have been okay. But then now that they've made some changes,
I know.
he's still not getting what he wants. And
I
yeah, we'll
know.
see. But
It's hard though because it's a new car for him, and they're trying to make it the best because they're falling behind the other three, right? Red
they,
Bull, McLaren, and the Mercedes are ahead of them, and they want to catch up. So they're tweaking to catch up, but it's a challenge to get there right now because whatever changes they're making doesn't seem to be working.
no, it doesn't seem to be. As you said, Mercedes, they're actually in fourth and fifth. And even Max Verstappen in Red Bull, he's down in eighth position. So you're just
Yeah,
wondering what's happening there. And
it's just the McLaren's is happening. That's all. That's all that's happening.
McLaren's definitely done something special, and they are just
Yeah, they're flying, man. They're looking really really good, and honestly, if they continue like this, the constructors' race is going to be over in no time.
it's gonna, yeah, for sure. The way they're going, they keep up every race. They're up there in the top. So
They have
it
two in the
didn't
top
help,
three.
and it didn't help for Ferrari that they got disqualified in one of the races. So
Yeah, they got both drivers disqualified, which is a little tough to deal with. But you know what? As Verstappen found a way to win in Japan last week,
mhm,
Lewis Hamilton is going to have to find a way to win in the Ferrari in one of the coming weeks.
yeah,
You just got to find a way.
for sure. And Norris is, he's kind of downplaying that, the dominance from McLaren, but
He
yeah,
can try to
everybody
downplay Ingle. You and I can see it even without wearing our glasses. We can see it.
exactly everybody can see that. Yeah, so it's just gonna be. I don't know. I think he can say whatever he wants to, but they've done something good with this car, and
It's, it's
it's really,
working, man.
it's
I'm
good.
impressed.
Yeah, it definitely is working. So whatever he wants to say, he can say, but
I
they're
know.
just out there in front of everyone.
They are, and so far, dominance is what they're doing. And let's see if they can do it again this weekend. But yeah, right now they're looking that way.
It looks that way, and then I will see what happens later on in qualifying, and
Yes, yes.
if there are any improvements made. But
Yeah, sometimes it's just a tweak here or there, and you're right there, right? So
mhm.
you know, let's hope let's hope Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari can figure out a way to tweak to get there. And I'm also keeping an eye on Mercedes because I'm a Mercedes lover to see what George
Mhm.
Russell is doing as well.
Yeah, Russell is going well actually. He's
Yeah,
been there. He's always been in the top somewhere in the top 10 for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
He's doing well, and he's right now, in fourth behind Leclerc. So
yeah, yeah. He's,
you know,
he's up there.
Antonelli in the other Mercedes is doing well too. So
Which is for me is like, okay, Lewis, you left Mercedes, and both drivers are looking like they're doing a little better than you. So we'll see.
yeah, it's doesn't make a lot of sense, but
Yeah,
yeah, but we will see what happens there.
for
In the
sure, for sure.
second practice, Hamilton is doing a little better. He's in the eighth position.
Yeah, still
So
a little way to go. You got to be in top five, man. But
exactly
at
because
least he's turning in the right direction.
yeah, because Leclerc is up there in fourth, Russell is in third, and
There,
yeah, so
there you
it's
go.
just he's got to go in the right direction, get right up there, and let's see what he'll do in the qualifiers later this afternoon.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure, sure.
All right, that's it for me on the F1, and talked a bit about the Pete Masters. Surprised the leader at the top of the Masters, Justin Rose, but
For now, I think
yeah,
some people are charging at him. Ingle, they're coming at him.
yeah, because the top guys are just very close. You got
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau, McElroy. Scotty Scheffler is just three back, and if he's three back, I think he can win easily.
Exactly, he's right there. But you got to watch McElroy on this one because I mean he was off to a bad start, but then he started charging and he's rolling. So I think this is going to be a very very interesting Masters because technically, any one of the five names you just call have a good chance to win.
Yeah, and he was actually Corey Connors is up there too, the
Yeah,
Canadian. Yeah,
yeah. The Canadian he's not only surviving, he's actually doing well.
he's doing well. Yeah, and McElroy, he was playing well the first day, and then all of a sudden he just had a bunch of bogeys, and
I don't know what happened because I said, "Oh, this is probably McElroy's tournament," and then he just dropped off really badly second day.
There were some people who think that his partner was playing slow and threw him off, but
Ah, boy.
yeah, that's what
The
they.
little things that can throw you off, eh?
Yeah, they said he was motoring along, and then his partner took a long time to make his putts, and he just threw him off
Just threw
next
him
game.
out, lost his rhythm.
Yeah, that's what
I
some.
mean, that is a valid point. I think, when you're rolling, you just need to keep rolling in the way you're going. And sometimes just going slow when you're a fast driver, then it's going to cause a problem. I see it on the highway every day.
It definitely can happen, yeah, because I know sometimes when I'm playing, and if you have to wait behind someone, you get frustrated.
Frustrated, yeah, yeah. You lose your rhythm, I must admit.
Yeah,
And your concentration wavers.
yes, and in golf, you can't afford to have that happen.
No, agreed, agreed.
So he probably has a valid point there,
He does, he does.
yeah. So we'll see how the Masters go this afternoon. I think I'm going to stay and watch some of it. I don't have much to do in the afternoon, so
You'll
I'll
be able
probably
to
stay
watch.
right, and watch some of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, that's any other sport you want to touch on? I mean, I guess
You
that.
touched on tennis?
No, I haven't talked about tennis.
Yeah, so what's going on with Novak? And maybe I need your opinion on this because he lost. Well, he said it's a horrible feeling to play this way, but he lost very early by Alejandro Tabilo, 6-3,
Yeah,
6-4.
yeah.
First round. It's like, who's this guy? I don't know this guy anymore.
I don't know. It's really surprising the way
Shocking.
it, it's shocking, but maybe he doesn't train as hard anymore. I don't know. That's the only
Well,
thing
he wants to get that 100th title. I mean,
he
he's at
does.
99, Ingle 99. He wants the 100.
It kind of reminds me of Safa Powell needed that 100.
Yeah, yeah.
When
He
you
couldn't
get
get
to that
there.
figure,
But
it
he was
just
training hard. He just couldn't get there.
yeah. But I don't know what's with Djokovic. His body, something. I don't know.
I don't know, but are you betting, man, to say he's going to get to that 100 this
I
year?
I think he will. I think he'll get
Yeah.
to the 100 this year. But
I hope so for his sake. But I mean, I'm getting a little worried now because instead of battling to get to the 100, he's losing in the first round.
he is, yes, and that's not good for him.
Not good at all. And he's 37, changing coaches. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I am hoping that he can get to that 100. It'll be a great achievement.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm
Awesome
just
to have him.
hoping that he will. And yeah, but it must be frustrating for him to lose so early.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God. I don't think I've ever seen it happen since he's become who he is as a big name player. I mean, he's always getting at least to the quarterfinals.
Definitely, he always. Yeah, just recently, he's just something's just not right with him.
Age. It's aging.
Well, I didn't
It's
want to
age.
say that, but yeah, yeah, it's definitely must be age.
Well, we'll see. But Carlos Alcaraz, though, he's another one that is disappointed me a bit. He's now ranked third in the world, but I think he's into the semifinals. So let's see how far he goes. He's saying, oh, maybe I'm missing Clay, but he needs to step up to make sure that Sinner is not overtaking the whole world.
Yeah, he actually just won his semifinal
They did
match.
today. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. So
So
he's in the finals now.
he's in the finals, yeah, and he's waiting for the winner of Musetti and Domino.
I think he's going to win this tournament.
Alcaraz.
Yes.
Let's hope so.
I think so. I'm fairly confident that he will. Yeah, that he will do so.
Yeah, that would be great if he can win, but he's another one that's up and down. So let's
Yeah,
hope.
well, for he's another big name, but he's young though. He's not like Djokovic, who's 37.
That's true.
It's a
That's
long way
definitely.
to go.
We'll keep an eye and see who wins, who is his opponent, and how it goes tomorrow.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Another quick topic before we go on to cricket, lovely cricket.
Mhm.
The March Madness ended last weekend, Engel. How did
Yes.
your bracket do?
Well, first of all, Don Staley lost. I wasn't too happy with that, but that's what it is.
Oh
Yeah, I was
boy.
hoping that she could win, but she was graceful in losing.
Ah,
Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't even close, which I thought it would be,
correct.
but it was a blowout. I mean, yeah, UConn just it was their time. It was their
Yeah,
destiny.
you know what? They've been before. They were like a dynasty before,
Hmm.
and they sort of dropped off, but they were dominant.
They were dominant. I mean, 80-59. It was just
That's not a final you want to see as a final.
no, no.
It's almost like a practice game.
Yeah, I think the men's final was actually more.
There we're talking the Gators.
Yeah, the Gators.
Gators. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah,
I
by
I
two.
thought they were done.
Yeah, they won by two over
It was
Houston.
Houston. Yeah, but Houston was giving it to them.
It was. Yeah, they were.
I
And
don't know how they faltered at the last quarter.
may- maybe the semifinal game took too much out of Houston.
Maybe caught up with them, but for me,
Yeah,
England, when you're in a final like it's March Madness final, man, you gotta find that extra gear
that
wherever it has to come from.
that gear has to come. Yeah, you must find that final gear to make sure that
You
you win.
can't be leading and lose in the final of the NCAA tournament here, man. But they played well though. It was a really good game,
Yes, it was
really
definitely a
good
good
game.
game.
And I think you know what, no matter what people say, every year the March Madness is something to behold.
It is. It is something, and that's just. It's probably bigger than the NBA and all this stuff. Actually,
It
when you look at
it's close.
the
It's
final four, it's
yeah, I
close.
know. What
The
happens with the
college
NBA? I
basketball,
think it depends on who it is. Go
it
ahead.
does. Yeah. No, say college sports on a whole is just
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. The number one sports in America is NCAA football.
Yeah.
So college always does it for you. But I think if the NBA has a finals, maybe if LeBron gets back to the finals this year against maybe Boston or something, to be a huge Boston LA. So it depends on who is in there. But yeah, you're right. The NCAA Final Four is something that not many things can match.
Yes, definitely. It is really something spectacular to see.
It is, and it's a good tournament. So it ended last week, and it was nice. It was nice.
Yep. I just mentioned the NBA. I mean, LeBron and Luca.
And Doncic,
Yeah, they're teaming up well now.
they're syncing up, man. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people are beginning to fear them.
yeah, I think so because they're now right up there. Yeah,
I I I don't know if how long they're gonna do it, but I think with LeBron's experience, they're gonna find a way to do it in the NBA Finals.
in the NBA Finals, definitely they will. I don't know. I was watching, put something on my, and it's just not going off. Yeah,
They,
they're thinking they're gonna find a way to do it because they're now in third spot. I mean, they won a big game last night actually,
yes,
but Phoenix probably didn't play their best team, but still, I
they
mean,
still won.
Houston, sorry, Houston Rockets,
Houston, yeah, Houston.
they still won. So, and
I
they
don't
look
know. I
like
think it's too early to call, but I think they did the right thing by playing their guys to make sure that everybody's gelling the right way.
talent.
As
Yeah,
Doncic is a little late coming to the team, so I think LA is doing the right things. It's gonna be tough in the. I don't know, man. Oklahoma is looking dangerous.
yeah.
You gotta look out for Minnesota, Golden State now with their new team down there. It's gonna be and Denver. Although I'm shocked Denver fired their coach. I still
I
don't
know.
believe
I was
them.
surprised. Yeah, I was very much
I think the players are shocked.
And yeah, you don't must be something personal in the background we don't know about. Because
he
just
he
go
won a
ahead.
title for them. What
Yeah,
what, like, what are we doing here?
yeah, I was surprised very much so. But Golden State and Lakers look like they're gonna have the matchup, and
That's the big one, right?
gonna be a tough one for your first round matchup.
I don't know, Ingle, but I'm leaning to Golden State. But if
I
if
am.
Curry's rolling, then yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know. It's not an easy one to call because LeBron is great, Doncic is great,
Yeah,
but I think overall Golden State is a better team now.
I think so too. But Lakers are getting scoring from a lot of different people now. So let's see.
Yeah, they're getting confident. Sometimes that one player coming over makes
Hmm.
a big difference, right? And I think with Doncic coming over, I think that's making a difference. The what do you call it? The fringe players are no longer fringe players. They
Yeah,
are stepping up.
stepping up and scoring and playing well. And
Yeah,
that's what, as you said, confidence can do for someone.
it works wonders, man. But I mean, Golden State has a young man by the name of Jimmy Butler.
But like, yes,
I tell you, man, if he gets going the way he normally does in the playoffs, with Curry in his back pocket, I think Golden State is going to be dangerous.
Yes, I totally agree with
Very
you on that
dangerous.
one.
Very dangerous. So, but you don't want to see Lakers go out in the first round, right? So,
No, we don't want. I don't want to see that for sure.
so
I think ratings will go down way down.
yes, yes, yes. I'd love for them to reach in the championships finals, or the conference finals, I should say. That
Yes.
would be a better game. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The NBA is getting hot. I think the excitement is more out west than out east.
Hmm.
I still haven't bought into Cleveland. I think maybe you have. I don't know, but
I
I haven't bought
haven't,
into them.
but they're the top team in the East.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I, I don't know. Maybe they're just not excited. I don't know what it is, but I think the Boston and Milwaukee are the two that I think are the most dangerous in the East.
that's what I yeah.
But Cleveland is winning. They're winning. They're winning.
Got the best record in the NBA, so
Yeah, well, you can't
something
argue with that.
yeah, something special for them.
But you got to look out for New York Knickerbockers as well. I think they're going to be very dangerous this year also. Brunson is back, so it's exciting both sides, East and West. But I think the West is a little more
And a little more exciting than the East and tougher, I
and
believe.
tougher for sure, for sure. A little deeper.
Yes, for sure. So, you're listening to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, the England Roger Sports Hour. Roger, we've touched on a few sports, but we want to talk a little bit about cricket, and I want to
A
start.
lot about cricket, man. There's so much going
Yeah,
on over there.
oh, it's a lot going on. I want to start with the IPL, and I also want to talk about something that's been in the news a lot recently about an international a window for IPL for well T20 games and a window for international cricket. But
Yeah.
I want to start off this with is Puran the best T20 player in the
I
world?
know that's a topic I wanted to take you on with. They're comparing him to Chris Gale and all of that. I don't think he's there yet. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but he's doing something special, I must say.
He
He
is. I
is.
watched him this morning. He came in on the score 65 for one, and he scored 60 and 38 balls, 34 balls, and Aiden Markram had 58 as well,
Yes.
and 31. And the two of them just took the game away from Gujarat Tigers. They scored 180 with six
Yeah.
India 20, and Puran just he's just such a great six hitter, and he's a
He's it's like I don't know. It's like taking candy for the baby for him. He just knows how to hit it.
yeah, he's hit seven sixes in his innings today, and I just said he's probably learned from Chris Gale. He said he don't do any special bat speed training or anything.
His positioning is excellent though,
Yeah,
and they
he's
don't know how to bowl to him because he really is not showing a lot of weak spots.
exactly, and he gets a solid base, and
Yeah,
I was watching as I said this morning, and they showed a slow motion where his bat doesn't start coming down until he's set, his base is set.
set.
So
Yes, yeah. I
yeah,
think he has figured that out, and I think he's doing extremely well. I'm not sure how great he can become. I'd rather see him doing this a little more for the West Indies, not just in the IPL, because he doesn't need for the West Indies for
I was
some
just
reason.
gonna say I hope he can be great for West Indies, but he's not doing that. Yeah,
He hasn't shown he's great all the time. He's great in the IPL, and he makes a lot of money over there. So I think it's worth him for him to be great there. But I'd love to see him do it for the West Indies. But you are right, though. He has come to a point now in his career where he has figured it out, in my opinion.
yeah, he's figured it out, and his team just keeps winning. And
And
they
because of
started,
him, not because of him.
yes, and because Richard Pant, who is the highest paid player in the IPL, he's not off to a good start. He opened the batting today. Last week he didn't bat, but last
Yeah,
game, but he opened today, and he looked good for a bit, but then he got out at 21. So
yeah.
I think yeah, they're looking good. They're in third spot after a slow start, but the team that surprised me down at the bottom is CSK, and I think I mentioned last week. I think they need to change. Maybe people are saying it's time for Dhoni to go.
That's a very popular statement there. A lot of people think it's his time, and I don't know. When do you call it quits, Ingle? I mean, I think he still has quality,
He's,
but I don't know
um,
if he's going to have it consistently enough to stay.
Now he's 43, probably don't train as hard as he used to.
He
His
probably can't.
flexes
He probably
are,
can't. He's 43.
yeah, and his reflexes are probably so much slower now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that it's not. Yeah, so
he's decent, but I don't think he's gonna be IPL decent consistently.
no, he won't be. He won't be scoring the way these other young guys are doing it. So
He
and
cannot.
and then you've got Mumbai who's down there too.
I'm surprised at them because they normally find a way to be at the top, somewhere around the top.
They do normally, but this just has been a terrible year for them.
I will say so far. I mean, they could still make a big run, and they sometimes do, but it's not looking so bright for them right now.
Not at all. Definitely not looking bright. And so the IPL continues, and as you said, we're looking for time to them. There's so much to talk about cricket that I don't want to take too much time on that. But the PSL also started, and both of them
All
have
right.
clashed. Started
I
yesterday.
thought it a little strange because I mean, how do you compete with the IPL? But
Well, they said it's two different. Set, well, the Pakistan players don't play in the IPL, so
I know, but I mean, the quality in the PSL is not going to be the same as the
it's
IPL for
not going to
sure,
be the
right?
same. All the players will get a chance to
It
play.
does.
So, but there's some good names though, because you've got Sikandar Raza, who was the T20 Player of the Year last year. Sam Billings, Darrell Mitchell. Those kind of guys are playing there still. So
I think
they have
Holders
some
they're doing well
decent
as
names. Andrew,
also, right?
yes, Jason Holder is there. Yeah,
Yeah, he did
so
well.
they've got some decent names there. But the ones who the IPL have moved on from, I would like to take it is.
Sorta,
But
sorta. Not
yeah,
good enough for the IPL. You can come here, or the IPL didn't pick you for whatever reason.
yes, that's what's happening. But yeah, so the PSL just starts. So it's just 3 games gone, so in the early stages, and we'll
Yeah,
keep an eye on how that goes. Alzari Joseph is there too,
I
and
noticed. Yeah,
yeah, his team lost today, Peshawar Army, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the team that Darren Sammy's coaching.
coaching. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So yeah, they lost today. Baba Azam is there as captain. He made duck, and his his
I don't know
Harry
what's going on with him because before he was like my guy scoring whenever he wanted, but nowadays he's probably meeting what they're realizing that maybe he's just tired.
yeah, he's got a hard time going on in this cricket for whatever reason.
Yeah, for a few months now.
Yeah, for a while, whether it's mental, whatever it is,
And
he's not doing too well.
maybe maybe mental, but yeah, we need him. We need all the superstars to be superstars.
Yes, definitely. So we'll move on from there. We'll go on to the West Indies and talk a bit about West Indies for 4-day championship, and that looks like it's going to be Guyana again. But
Harpy
Jamaica,
Eagles.
yeah, Jamaica losing to the CCC. Did you see that coming?
You know what? I think they went into the game just overconfident that they're going to walk through and just win, and they got bowled for 133, I think.
Yeah, in the
So
first
it's just
innings.
like, whoa, you can't make 150 against the CCC
Mm-hmm. And then CCC code 357, and then
with Paris. I don't know
yeah,
Paris, but I mean, apparently I need to know Paris.
Paris is I think he's a Bajan player who's played for Barbados before. For
But he certainly dominated the Jamaican
Shakira
bowling.
Paris, yeah, he scored 112. Definitely dominated the bowling.
Came back and scored 85 now, 86 not out. So they couldn't get it. They couldn't figure out the bowling or get him out.
No, they couldn't.
And they lost the game because of that. Because if he wasn't doing as well, they had a shot. Because they did come back in the second innings and make 340.
Yeah,
So the
Jamaica did well in the second
second
innings.
innings, right? And again, Mr. Campbell, I think he's definitely going to be called up for the test team. But yeah, he showed up again with another century.
Is he going to captain the West Indies?
He's going to do what?
Is he going to captain the West Indies?
I don't know. That's a whole other conversation that I wanted to bring up as well about Shy Hope. But I mean, for now, I don't know. Would you put him as captain?
um, he they may not want to do it, but he should be one who is in line.
I
Actually,
think he should be considered. But I think, based on what happened and things going on, they
sorry.
probably wouldn't want to put him there right now.
they may not want. And speaking of Campbell, as we spoke last week, they withdraw the charges against
I
them.
was just about to say that they had, as I said last week, they have no choice.
They had no
What are
choice.
they going to do?
Yeah, so they withdrew the charges, and
Yeah.
which is a good thing. But
So they remove his 4 month ban, and he's now free.
he's free. Actually, Paris is born in Trinidad, not
Oh,
Barbados.
he plays for Barbados, but was born in Trinidad.
He was born. He's a Trinidadian.
Oh, he
Been
plays for Trinidad. Okay, okay,
in that. He's,
okay.
you know how these guys once you go to, I think combined campuses. Once you go to classes at one point, I think you
Oh, the associates. Okay,
associate. Yeah. So his teams that he's played for Trinidad, not
Barbados. Okay.
Barbados. Yeah. He's got an average of 37 in first class cricket. So he's just starting to make his way in 9 matches. So
Yeah, one to look out for.
definitely one to look out for. And but he's actually 21 years old.
He's
So
young. Yeah, that's why I was saying. That's why I said I need to know him because he's up and coming for sure.
good to see the youngsters doing well and making runs.
Although, I mean, and it goes back to I think you and I spoke about it briefly, and I think with Manali as well. How are they scoring so many centuries this year? I mean, what is it the pitch? I don't know, but there is a lot of centuries, Ingle. A lot.
Either the pitches or the bowling is not as good. I'm not
I
sure.
don't think it's the bowling, man, because I mean, I don't know.
It's got to be the pitches, maybe, and maybe the bonus points and for batting points and stuff. Players are
Motivated.
not motivated. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, man, but I mean, if they could do this every year, it means that West Indies wouldn't have a batting problem anymore because the amount of centuries I've seen here is like, whoa,
It's a
everybody's
lot.
found form.
Yeah, everybody's definitely fun. You're right. Everybody's doing well. So
Really
that's
weird.
the other ongoing matches, Roger. Barbados Pride are hitting back at the Leeward Islands.
Yeah.
Actually, they but Leeward Islands scored 444 for 9, declared Barbados 315. But in the second innings, Leeward's at 76 for 8.
Yeah.
Wow. They're,
I don't know, Ingle. I know you're from the Leewards, right? What's
Mhm.
going on with them in this game?
I don't know what happened. Maybe they got complacent after the 444
I think so.
because maybe they just thought, that's an easy, either win or a draw for us easily.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not happening. And
I thought it was a drawn game, but I don't know, man. Suddenly they fell apart.
they are, and if they lose these wickets, they're going to be in trouble. O'Shane Thompson is batting with Hayden Walsh right now,
Yeah,
and if they lose any more wickets, 5 wickets for Matthew Ford, and he actually scored a century as well in
yeah.
this game. So
Ford is on fire because yeah, he had what 140 or something.
yeah, and this centuries are keep piling up.
Said we see more and more centuries every game.
You had a century from him. You had a century from Justin Graves.
Reeves as well, right?
Yeah,
Plus the
so
two in the Jamaica game from Paris and from Campbell, right?
Campbell. Yeah,
So,
so everybody's scoring runs, and
runs.
other game that's still ongoing is Guyana and
Trinidad.
Trinidad, and Guyana actually trail Trinidad trail Guyana by 94, got 240, and Guyana scored 463, and they
Yeah.
have now 129 for 3 in the second innings. Trinidad a little better than the first time around.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, I thought Trinidad would have been a little more competitive, but I don't know. Maybe that Silva fell asleep now.
It looks like Kimo Paul must be kicking himself because he got 93.
I saw that. It's like get all the way there and can't get to the line with 100.
Yeah, that was something else. But some good scores in these games. I think it it shows that the players are now taking responsibility and playing better cricket. Maybe
Is it they're fighting for a spot that is causing this? You think?
maybe they realize it's not that difficult to make West Indies team anymore.
A big
So,
realization.
yeah, and the other game that was played this week, a big disappointment for me of the season. Not just this game, but the season that the Windward Islands Volcanoes had. It was so poor. You know,
Horrible from start to finish. I
yeah,
think they never left first gear.
no, they never did. They had a terrible season,
They
and
did.
they lost to West Indies Academy. So
I saw that.
That
So
was
I don't
really
know. I don't know. You could just drop off like that, but they certainly didn't get going at all.
no, they didn't. And Anthony's he'll probably find his way in the West Indies team still, but he has not done anything to say if he was looking for selection to be selected.
I think he played himself out of a position, but I mean that's just me. But he
Yeah,
has a lot of support and he has a big name and a lot of expectations, but he has not performed in the
yes,
domestic league at all to be
no,
considered.
definitely hasn't done anything special.
Yeah,
But he will. I'm sure he will get selected though on
I
past
think so too.
performances.
I think so too because I mean, potential wise, if he gets going, he's a superstar.
Yes, yeah. But we'll see how those things happen. We're running out of time quickly. Wow, it's moved.
Oh,
It's
we're still good. So I have a question about this whole shy hope thing. So I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I mean, I think Dujon is saying good call. I think
Mhm.
Clive Lord is saying good call. I don't know. What do you think? Because this guy hasn't played a lot of Test cricket at all in his career. He hasn't played for a while, Test cricket for a while either. So why are we making him captain?
It's gonna be a call for Shy Hope if he wants to play Test cricket because I think he's capable. Two, you don't score back-to-back centuries at Lords and cannot bat. But then, for some reason, I guess he made up his mind that making money was the thing, and changed himself into a shorter format player, and
He did.
he just wants to play T20 and
Oh,
ODIs.
guys.
So I don't know if Shy Hope is gonna play for. I mean, he's still young. He's 31. He can play. He's only. I just said he's not played a lot of Test cricket.
No, no. I
Played
think it's
30.
like 5 games. It's not a lot.
Yeah, he's played 38 Test matches,
Oh, 38. Okay. Five
but
series. But no, you're right.
but he's only averaging 25. He's got 200s, and those 200s came early in his career in
Yes.
Lords.
Yes.
Since that, he's not done much. So
But are they buying into this philosophy that one coach, one captain?
that's the way West Indies seem to want to go. From talking to some people close to West Indies top brass, yeah, that's the way that I'm hearing that they're planning to go and want to go one coach, one captain. As you know, Andre Coley the coaching was taken away from him
I
also.
know.
So
I know. He wasn't happy at all.
no, I think he was doing okay, but he's so
He was. And he had some big victories in his pocket there. So I can see why he was so disappointed.
yes, so seems like West Indies have decided a one coach, one captain. And so you wouldn't be surprised if Shea Hope is, they're probably having discussions with him, trying to
I'm pretty
convince.
sure they're probably begging him, offering him things. But I
Yeah,
mean, just looking at it, I mean, Darren Sammy, I wouldn't say he was a test guy either. They made him
no.
the test coach, and now you're gonna have a Shy Hope who is not a test guy looking to be the test captain. So I don't know if they're setting themselves up for failure here.
Yeah, and Viv Richards went a different way. He said they need a young guy who
There you go.
and give a young captain a chance to groom. Yeah, so
I saw that along with Viv, but I think I don't. I'm surprised that Clive Lloyd went the other way.
to go with
Shy Hope.
Shai Hope. Shai Hope, if you look at him play, I mean, I don't know if I think when if I was listening to Mikey Holden was commentating back when Shai Hope went to England,
Yeah.
and Richie Richardson was the manager, and he said he asked Richie who is going to make runs, and he said Shai Hope, and he said Holden said he said Shai who because he didn't even he didn't even know much about him. And then he scored back-to-back hundreds at Lords for West Indies to win a Test match. So
Yes.
he announced himself then, and then I believe West Indies started to use. He batted at number 5 or 6
Five.
in those
Yeah.
Test matches, but then they started batting him at number 3, and his failures started coming. So
Yeah. It's a
they'll
little
have,
too high for him, maybe.
yeah, probably. So they'll have to look at that and see what to do with him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting. Let's see how they go with that one. I think it's a very interesting discussion because I think if they make that change and it fails, then there's going to be a lot of people saying, "Oh, I told you so." So
yes, yeah, that's true.
you don't want that. You don't want that.
Yeah. Well, just to if there's not, if you know think further on that, just to wrap up on my end of cricket is the Women's World Cup qualifiers and West
Yeah.
Indies. off to a so-so start. Yesterday, my heart was going
Jumping out of your skin.
because I mean, like they lost to Scotland the day before, which
I
was
couldn't
bad
believe
enough.
that. I was like, what is happening here? What in God's name
Yeah.
is happening here?
I looked at the score and I said, okay, easy win for West Indies because they were 120 for one, chasing 240,
Yeah.
and they lost. I mean, Haley Matthews is a real hero because she was actually on a stretcher taken off the field. The wicket fell and she just rolled off and went back out to bat.
She's their savior. But I mean, it was good to see that she's bowling so well to back up her batting. But
The
I
one,
think the second game it was a little better because the first game I don't know, man.
but the second game they made it a bit too close to West Indies 181 and Ireland got
Oh, people,
175.
it was very nerve wracking actually.
Yeah, because they needed eight in the last over, and
That's easy to make.
Haley got the Mets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they went from one. What I think they put on 29 runs for the last wicket, and
Yes,
no,
yes.
Haley actually missed the run out because she missed the stump when she tried to hit it with, and
Yeah.
yeah, but good for them to win, and they have a tough one coming up tomorrow against Pakistan.
The tougher one, but I think they're going to win that. But Stephanie Taylor stepped up against Ireland, which was good to see also.
Yes, she did
Getting
on the fourth.
46.
It's actually on the 14th. West Indies play Pakistan, so let's hope that they can win that game. And
Yeah, yeah. Monday's going to be a big game. I think they did a couple of practice games there, so I think they should know who they're going up against. So
Mhm.
I think they're going to be on a bit of a roll now. I think now that they got the bad one out and they got the squeaker out, so it's time to have a good one.
I think so. So now they just need to beat Pakistan, get right back up to the top with them, and then they will be okay.
Yeah, because Scotland got beaten by Pakistan.
Yes, they did. And
So,
those
but
two.
I think we can beat Pakistan. I don't think those are our true competitors, in my opinion, but we'll find out.
Yes, we'll see. I think that's it for me. For oh no, I wanted to talk to you. There's one thing in cricket with about the window because just
Yeah.
besides even having a window for it, there's a discussion that the what's happening with the players have to get a NOC
Yes.
to play for, right? Because players who are not even playing for their country, they have to get NOCs to play, and
And the
that's
NOC is a no obligation
yeah, no objection certificate.
objection. Yes,
Yeah,
certificate.
to play wherever they want to play, and some people are thinking it's not. Um, it's violating the rights of the
Yeah, I
players.
saw that FIFA guy is talking about it yesterday, and he was
Yeah,
adamant that this is inhumane and it's taking away their rights. And
yeah, he said no objection certificates violate sported and human rights law.
yeah, he said it's human rights breach. But I don't know. I think Wabel Hines jumped in and started a line with him a little, I think. So,
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and he's the
it's
WIPA president. So it's interesting that it has come up now, but it's an ongoing problem.
and
And I think other leagues like football have sort of figured it out a little, so it's not the same. I mean, they have their windows and their whatever, but cricket doesn't have that.
yeah, cricket doesn't have that, and I think I kind of side with them with this thing about because I don't think a player who don't have any ambitions or any care about playing for the country to why should you have to get an NOC to play? I mean, I think there's a few things that I see cricket do that I think, well, it's really archaic and need to be changed. But yeah, hopefully,
Uh, they're slow moving. I think eventually they're gonna get it. I think right now cricket got the opportunity to come out of sort of a quiet sports, although a popular sport, but they started making all this money and all this opportunity to get in the
mhm,
media, and I think they just need to catch up,
yeah,
realize what they have, and need that it has to be organized for it to be continuously successful. And the way it is now, a lot of burnout, as you can see, a lot of the players being
mhm.
burned out and having problems with that. So, I think, sorry, I think it's important that they put the structure in place soon.
It has to because it also makes the teams weaker because players are choosing between franchise and their countries,
They're choosing between the lining their pockets with money
of course.
and playing for their country. And I think everybody's taking the money because A lot of people believe you got 10 years of a chance to be successful in this thing and make as much as you can. And that's
Yep,
what they're doing.
that's how it is for sure. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about, but we're running out of time and we wanted to talk a bit about the
In
Grand
track
Slam
and
last
field.
week in track and
Oh boy, I tell you, it was an
field.
exciting Grand Slam over there in Jamaica, man. Track and field is alive and well.
I saw some criticism of it in a sense where I think some Jamaican was saying that, well, not that the meet itself, but the timings. So that's why you didn't get the crowd in.
Well, there's a couple things there. I mean, I grew up in Jamaica, so I know this.
Hmm.
Boys and girls championships, it's the only time in track and field that you get a full stadium. So
Okay.
if they believed they were going to get a full stadium, they were wrong.
Mm.
That you're talking, you're not going to get 35,000 people to come watch international meet,
International meets. Okay.
right? You may get, and if you look at it, the next meet that they're having for the Grand Slam is at Miramar, Florida. The stadium
Hmm.
holds 5,000. The
Oh,
stadium in Kingston holds had more than 5,000 people every day.
yeah.
So, but anyway, they had another issues because I think they didn't go about getting people engaged the way they should have.
Hmm.
I think they did it the first world way, where it's a lot of social media stuff. Jamaicans are not that into that social media promotion thing. You got to
Hmm.
get on the ground, go to the schools, get the schools involved, go to the groups and get them involved. They didn't really do that, so that was one. You cannot have a meet starting at 5:30 English
Right.
because work finishes at 5. So unless you're going to leave, people will leave work to go to champs, but they're not going to leave work to go to an international thing
Mm.
unless it's well worth it, right? So everybody just couldn't get there. It was just traffic, traffic, traffic. A friend of mine who is what less than he could have walked in half an hour, and it took him an hour and a half driving to get there. So people just
Wow.
could not get there. So the timing was bad. On the Sunday, it was like 2 in the afternoon, where nobody's going to sit in the middle of the sun. So it's going to be that side is just going to be empty. So the crowd was decent, I think,
Hmm.
but not what they expected. That's for sure. But it was decent. So it was not only the crowd; it was the timing of the event and the stars. I think Jamaicans wanted to see more stars. I think if you had a Kishane Thompson against an Noah Lyles, you probably would have seen more people show up. Or if you had a Shelly and Elaine and Sharika with Julian Alfred and Shakari, then you probably would have a close to a full stadium.
Hmm.
But the names that were there are decent, but just not all top drawer, which
That's
was
true.
part of the problem, right? So, and then a lot of people don't fully understand the scoring, and it became a problem, especially in the distance races where you didn't have to win to get the 100,000. And Grant Fisher, he said, he saw the other two in front of him. He knew he had to run for third if he wanted to win. So that's what he
Hmm.
did. He didn't even run to win the race. He ran for third. So
Yeah.
you don't want that. You don't want that. But yeah, the sprint races were exciting. I think the track was the performance on the track was really, really good. That 400-meter race for the women, I think I replay it in my mind almost every half an hour. It was a fascinating race to watch. I can tell you
Yes.
that it
I
was.
watch. I mean, you could see the determination.
Oh boy, Gabby Thomas, and she made it clear. She said she was coming down the straight, and all she thought about is the $100,000 on the line.
Yeah.
And if she came second, she got the 100,000, and she got the 100,000. She broke her personal best by a mile, so she
Yeah.
wanted the money. So that's a motivation for some people. But I think the Grand Slam is not a bad idea. They need to make some tweaks with the scoring thing. They need to make some tweaks with who they have,
Mhm.
and of course, need to make some tweaks with how they get the country involved. Because right now, I think they didn't do the right thing to get the right people involved.
Mm.
Right. So, I mean, in my opinion, go to the schools, tell them, listen, I'll, I'll give you guys half price or free. Come to the bleachers. They would have a half full stadium.
Right.
But then they had, at the last minute, they had, oh, by the way, you're going to have a high school race. You're not going to get people to come watch a high school race if they find out about it the day of the race. It's too late. Definitely too late.
That's definitely too late to do anything. Yeah.
But it
And I
was
think there was something else happening in Jamaica on the first day or second day.
yeah, so it was all 3 days. They had the Jamaican Expo, which is
Mm.
right next door at the National Indoor Arena. So they had already booked that long before Grand Slam came about. so they control the parking.
Mm.
So even if you wanted to get to the stadium, you couldn't. That's why it took my friend an hour and a half to get there. You couldn't get to the stadium
Can
because
get there.
there was no parking.
Wow.
So it was just poor planning from that point of view. And I think, as some people say, I think Ricardo Chambers said it, that it's on Grand Slam. Some of the things that happened is not Jamaica; it's actually Grand
It's
Slam
on Queensland. Yeah.
that did it. So hopefully, I mean, they're talking about how they're going to come back and all of that, but I don't know. They will. They spent almost 500,000 to get the track ready for this. They're invested. I think they'll come back.
Right.
They'll come
I'm
back.
sure
But
they will.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they will. But it was exciting. The stadium looked really nice. Watching it, it was beautiful to see, and the performance on the track was great. So Kenny Bednarek doing well. We saw, as I mentioned, Gabby Thomas doing well. We saw Wanoni in that 1500 meters. We saw kind of air up in the 800 meters. It was nice. Melissa Jefferson took the 1-2 for women. So
Mhm.
it was good to watch. And of course, the super great Cindy McLaughlin was dominant,
Oh yeah, she was definitely.
dominant. So it was
Yeah.
just, and Alison dos Santos as well. He fought for the 400 victory, but he was good winning the 400 hurdles. So good races, exciting races, and all of that. But yeah, it was just not the crowd that they wanted. But in other track and field happening in Ingle, there's this talk, and I think they've now agreed to this. And I don't know what your thoughts are on this one, but for the LA Olympics, they want to have a mixed 4 by 100 meters.
Yes, I saw something about that. Yeah.
I don't know, Ingle. I guess they'll figure it out if they're going to have man to man, woman to. But the
Yeah.
man to woman would be a problem
Hmm.
because if I'm coming as a man at 500 miles an hour and this woman is running off at 200 miles an hour, it's going to be a problem changing the baton. So I haven't seen a lot of mixed 4 by one being successful, but I don't know what your thoughts are on a mixed
But
4 by
yeah,
one.
I guess you do the same as you choose where to run the different athletes, or do they have to run it specifically women
Well,
again?
for the 4 by 4 now it's specific. Before, when they started out, you could choose the way you wanted, but now it's
It's
specific in the 4 by 4 man to woman in the 4
okay.
by 4. So if they try to do that with the 4 by one, I don't know.
Yeah, then they try to do that. It might be tough.
It may be
Well,
tough.
but it's yeah, because as you said, the speed in the past seven of the baton is easier for a woman to pass to a man, I think. But even so, the man is going to be moving off quicker, maybe, right? So it's going to be
He's
a
going
lot.
to have to go out slow if he wants, and then he's not going to be at his
And you could,
optimum. So
right. So it's going to have to be a lot of practice to get those baton
to get
changes.
that right, I don't
It's
know.
no
I don't know. Ah, boy, we'll see how that one goes. Um, this talk from Let's See Tobago. I love Tobago to death, but he says he has his side set on breaking the iconic Usain Bolt's 200-meter world record,
problem.
1919. Ingl. Do you think he has a shot?
There, you can try, but
He's not too far away. Give him credit, and he's
no, he's not too
strong.
bad,
He's
but
fast. So
we'll see. Maybe if he gets pushed,
what? Noah Laz is gonna. I know what Ingl. I think they're gonna get it.
get 200 meters.
Either him or Noah Laz is gonna get it. I
Hmm,
believe with Bednarek there now. I think they have a shot. I think if all three go at it neck and neck all the time, with Andre DeGrasse don't write him off either,
right.
then yeah, they have a shot angle. They're not far away. They're in 19.3s and this is 19.1. You just 19.19. You just need to have a good day, good weather, good track. Who knows?
Yeah, good track. And, yeah, there's and even the tracks now they're trying to make them faster, so all the
A
records will be
lot
good.
faster. The,
Which
the
is
tracks are faster and the shoes are faster.
yeah. So, but I still think it's going to take some running to do that. But
Definitely will. It definitely will.
maybe Bolt himself don't wouldn't mind if it's broken because records are there to be broken, and it's
Exactly.
exciting. I mean, yeah, definitely.
That is so true. But I'm looking forward to see if he can do it. As I said, he has the 400 strength. He can go 44, maybe even 43. He goes 9.8 in the 100. So he has a chance to do it. And so does Noah Lyles. So we'll see if they get to it, but it's not too far away. Quickly back to the Grand Slam. I know we had stepped over it a bit, but for the
Mhm.
next one in Miami, May 2nd and 3rd, Andre DeGrasse has been called up as a challenger. So he'll be in it. Good to see him
Yes.
there. We're also going to see Anna Hall, Amber Anning, who won the 400-meter indoor world championships, Kenny Harrison, the former world record holder in the hurdle. So they're putting new challenges out there to make it more interesting. So it's picking up. We still haven't seen Shakari and Julian Alfred and Noah Lyles, but
No.
or
Yeah.
Inge Brixton, but let's hope that the big names join up. But yeah, for now, it's picking up. More names are joining up.
Yeah. Actually, not Shakari, Sharika actually started her running last week again with the 300 meter.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that next. So last week
Yeah.
in Miramar, where surprisingly, and I didn't really realize until after that, nobody from the MVP camp was really at the Grand Slam, but they all showed up at Miramar,
Mm,
including Kishane Thompson. But Sharika opened her season in a 300-meter race, which I thought she would have won. But Julian Alfred, well,
she
she
won.
found a way to beat her.
Yeah.
She said, "Coach told me to go win, and that's what I did." So, Ingl, I don't know if that's what the power of the coach to say, "Go win," and you just do it like that.
Wow.
More
Yeah.
power to you. But I watched that race a lot. I don't know if you have seen it, but it was
I haven't
fascinating
seen
to
it.
watch. A really fascinating race to watch, and it shows me that Julian Alfred is going to do something really special in the 100 and the 200 this year.
She
Sharika
likes,
has work to do.
yeah, Julian likes to win, so
Yeah,
she's
she
yeah,
she loves to win.
and she's pushing herself very hard.
Very, very, very hard. In another news, and this is more on the political side, so the Cuban Athletics Federation, they denounced the massive denial of visas by the U.S. Embassy as they almost their entire delegation that went to participate in the 2025 World Masters indoors in Florida didn't get a visa.
Oh, really?
Only,
Wow,
only I think only two people of 14 got visas.
that's crazy.
So if this is a prelude as to what is going to happen in LA 2028, then we may have a problem, Ingle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem if that's gonna happen because that's crazy.
You can't
And
have a whole country can't go.
no, no, it's well,
And the two that got it, they're actually American citizens as well. That's the only reason why they got
why
in.
the world got in?
Yeah. Anybody coming from Cuba? Nope.
No,
Nope. No visa.
and the other countries are gonna be like that too. So
Yeah. A lot of
it'll
African
be
countries and all
interesting.
of that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge.
Well, yeah, we've got 2 minutes to go.
Yes. Quickly
We
on
just wanted
soccer.
to quickly. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So we saw Mo Salah. He turned down £500 million from Saudi Arabia to stay with Liverpool. I don't know, Ingl. Could you turn down that amount of money?
Oh, it's tempting, but maybe he has this. Maybe he says principles or something.
I don't know, man. I would say 500 million.
Yeah, Vladdy just got 500 million for Big
I
Blue
would,
Jays. Yeah,
well, yeah, that's another one too. I don't. That's a whole lot. But it's 14 years, so it may not be as
okay.
much as it sounds.
That's not as much as this. Yeah. Well, just to wrap up, because we missed, I think, last week, Ovechkin passed Gretzky's. Well, he
Yeah, I was
passed on
about to bring it
Sunday,
up.
actually. Yeah.
I like how he celebrated with that dive and that thing on the ice.
Yeah. It was good. And 1,488 games. Gretzky was 1,487. No big difference.
Yeah.
So
The
great.
only thing about it, English, is that I don't think anyone is going to see Ovechkin as great.
No, they won't see him
He
as
has a record, but that's all he has. I don't think anyone sees him as
he'll,
even close to comparison with Gretzky or Mario Lemieux or anybody like that.
he's going to be called the leading scorer. Uh,
That's his title. That's
yeah,
who he is. Not a great.
not a great,
But happy for him though. Congrats. I mean, he stuck it out and tough player. He has done a lot and he's lived his life in Washington and done a lot for them.
for sure. On that note, we come to the end of the show. And thank you for joining and listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and be safe.
Have a great one, everyone.